let's go back and look at what we did in lesson 9. So we did, if my grade is greater than or equal to 70, you're passing, else game over. So what we can do is we can actually put in more than one if statement to test certain conditions. So I'm going to make sure that I'm in the source, and I'm going to make another new class, and I'm going to call this grades. Click the public static void main, click finish. So what we're going to do in this program is we're going to actually use a little bit of logic to determine our actual grade in a class. So put your name, the date, the 9, and then this is going to be called enter a grade, the number grade, return the letter grade. So first of all, we're going to need a scanner to ask the user what their grade is. So scanner, and I'm going to call it my input equals new scanner system.did. Okay, in order to use this, we're going to have something up top. So import java.io and import java.util. And now we can use our scanner, and we're going to system out print what was your test grade. And then we're going to use my input. So when we're entering a test grade, it's most likely going to be a double. So for this part, you do have to use a little bit of logic. So double my grade equals my input dot next double, open close parentheses, and end your line. Go ahead and click save. And then what we're going to do is we're going to initiate our if statement. So going down 2 lines, and we're going to say if, and then we're going to run a test. The first thing you want to know is if you got the highest grade possible. So if my grade is greater than 92, greater than or equal to 93, we're going to have an A, right? So let's go down to the next line and tell it what to print. If we got an A, system out print line, you have an A. All right, so now we also want to put in if we get a B. So let's copy this. So you can just Control-C, Control-V on your keyboard, but you can't just do if this. We're going to put in else if. So else, so that way your program's giving itself a choice. So if your grade is greater than 93, it prints this and it's done. But if it's not 93, it's going to go to this next statement. So if my grade is greater than or equal to 85, you have a B. All right, copy and paste this next one. So keep going down. Greater than or equal to 78, you have a C. Greater than or equal to 70, you have a B. And now, instead of pasting again, we're going to, well, we're just going to paste. Now, we don't need this anymore because this is our last option. So if my grade is less than 70, have an F. Okay, so now we can take a look at our code and what it's saying here, multiple markers on this line. Because for an else statement, you do not have to have an argument. So if you look, all if statements have to have an argument, else's do not, because it's just the default. So let's go ahead and save it, and then we'll run it. Okay, so what was your test grade? 87, you have a B. Let's run it again. Test it for all of your defaults. You have an F. 98, you have an A. So our program does work. Right, so now that we know that our program works, you are ready to answer the questions for lesson 9, and you also have a project here where you're going to determine if it's even or odd. So for the last few projects we've been naming the class tester. It's going to keep telling you to do that in the book. I want you guys to start naming it something that's actually appropriate for what the program is instead of everything called tester. So start coming up with your own things, like even or odd would be great. So what we're going to be doing here is you're going to be using the modulus, which is that determining the remainder, to figure out if something is even or odd by having a user put the number in. Good luck!